And we're set to go for the final round. Let's go. I do think I'll stick to the plan, although I've faced a few too many mirror matches than I would like. So perhaps if more people tend to go with Skellige first, then I should be taking a favorable matchup, such as, oh my god, such as Skytel, and that would be a good deck to open with, I think. I'm starting to suspect that all the Skellige players are in the same bracket. Anyway, I don't want to be stuck without long ships. Let's tricky. Let's throw away the fog. That's 2 spies, so that's a good start. I don't want to throw away the long ship, but I have to keep the martyrdom too. Let's try. Throw away the priestess. Coral's a good card. I haven't seen her in a while, or at least not in any game where she was relevant. So that's good. That's a good change. I've not seen Ogfist, but we can make this work.
We shall do it my way.
Let's see. Igni is really good. I don't care about fog, and I don't care about a long ship in my graveyard. So this is excellent.
Give us all you got.
All right. A lot of people still playing the pirates. I'm not sure. Not sure whether that's a meta call or something. But I'll play Donor here. If he passes, which I suspect he will. Can I fight for this round? Ooh, Sigurd Rifa in the graveyard. Well, we do have Restore, so that's probably okay-ish. He passes. He's on 21. Can I win in 1 sweep? I can not win in 2 cards. So this is not worth fighting for, therefore. Actually, I could Resurrect and use Igni to win the round. Do I want to do that, though? I don't have Ogfist, so maybe I actually do. This is a really odd one. I think I actually do. This is really strange. But this is an 8. And this is a 14.
Not your lucky day.
And I think that's okay, because I now don't have to win the second round. I can actually just pass the second round, which is not bad. Huh. I can actually just pass here. Since I don't have an Ogfist, I don't want to give him any value if he has one. And I'm passing the round to him. Yeah, I'm okay with this. We are building big boards versus big boards, but since I don't have Ogfist, I actually don't even want to play this round. So he has to commit a card. Oh, he's playing Skirmishers, alright. I don't know whether that's good for me. It is good if I draw art, but can't really count on that, can we? And I have already used Igni, which is a big trump card in the final round. So I'm still not sure whether I made the right call here, but I do have a semi-decent graveyard. And he has an Ogfist. Okay, I think we have to try, at least try our best to make. Actually, I don't see. Well, yeah, I do see some worth in using a Margam here, because they're not going to be. Actually, with multiple Margams in hand, maybe I should have fought for the second round. I'm not sure about that. So, if he did not have a Martyrdom here, which is not a fat chance, I will admit, then I could have gone for the double Martyrdom to kill it, which would have been worth it. But in this case, I think I'll have to try for a play with Coral, so we'll have to do that later. In that case, let me restore and then probably bounce Sigurd Rifa later. Unless he has Donor, in which case the play is obvious again.
She brooks no insult.
I'm still kind of okay with this. I do have a Scald. My graveyard isn't as stocked as I would like it to be, but neither is his, so that's good. I don't think he'll resurrect Donor, no. And I don't have a way to punish this, which is really awkward, but I do have a Commander's Horn, which kind of makes up for that again. So let's see. I'm getting shipped the Ockfist again. He has one turn to respond right now, because it will take down next turn. So Coral will have to come down now, or I can... Yeah, I think I have to Coral now if I want to have that opportunity. If he clears, then that's just the way it is. But this is my one opportunity to get rid of Ockfist, and I should take that. Especially since he's already used the Sacred Rifa, which is actually curious. Clears the skies, alright. I think I had to try. Had to give it an honest try at the very least. I'm not killing that anytime soon in that case, which means I should probably... I don't even want to decoy Sacred Riva because I have nothing to do with it right now. In that case, I should probably clan Heime to prevent him from heralding. I actually don't care about it yet. Because if he heralds early, then that's also good for me. I cannot prevent the Ockfist value here. Unless... I can make another attempt with using a Mardrem. And then threatening to herald, but I don't want to herald early. Because that's also a way to lose this matchup. So I think we Scald here, just to clean up the damage and prevent those units from being damaged again. And then probably bounce the Scald back to hand. If he's running a Skirmisher deck, it's also really good for me that I passed the second round. Because those tend to grow in value significantly over the course of a game. So let's decoy the Scald here. Also keeps the number of minions on the board to a minimal level, which is good. And then I think we make another play with the Mardrem on the Ockfist, just threatening to kill it next turn. I think that's... yeah. We basically have to give it a try, because if he gets the Coral... Actually, he already does get to... No, he does not. So if we prevent Ockfist from bouncing once more, then we can save the first light until after he uses his Coral. Which is very much worthwhile. Uses the Restore, so he can't get it back. But uses Donar to go up in card advantage. So killing Ockfist actually doesn't matter anymore. That's curious. What did he mill? Milled a Shieldsmith. So he can resurrect the Shieldsmith, and then the Mardrem on Ockfist doesn't matter anymore. So we're perfectly fine just doing that. This one has a base strength of 11, I feel. So that means buffing this one will be more resilient. Yes, buffing this one will be more resilient to... What am I saying? To Geralt Igni, which is a card we're playing around in this hand.
Mardrem Freyr is patient, but she brooks no insult.
So he can resurrect the Shieldsmith, that's fine. Buffs one of the Skirmishers, that's... Yeah, I guess that makes sense. There's a fog in my graveyard, I have Coral in the field, so he shouldn't be scared of art for this, for now at least. Yeah, I can threaten to kill Ockfist, but it doesn't matter, he has the card advantage regardless. Actually, does he? Yeah, we have to play a card first, so that didn't matter. We don't need to use the Scald yet, because Ockfist doesn't really damage too much. So that's fine. So we use Mardrem on the boat here. Only 2 damaged units, so that's kind of okay. Ogfist comes back. But it's not really doing too much yet. So as long as we can get a good Commander's Horn and he does not, then we're in a good position. Nothing died yet. I'm kind of waiting for the Igni to happen so I can resurrect something, but if we wait too long with that, then it's also gonna be bad for us. Just playing this call again. He's gonna have to pull the trigger on Harald sooner rather than later, I think. Not really sure about that. Should also be careful about Sigurd Rifa getting Igni'd at the same time as the longship, so perhaps we should just pull the trigger on the Commander's Horn now. We're not gonna have our longships any bigger than they are now. Actually, I should probably use the first light first. I'm not gonna be able to clear weather with it anyway, so might as well just see what I get first. And I probably should have used that before the Scald. So I have a pretty good board, and a pretty resilient board to any weather coming up. I am a little worried about the card disadvantage right now. And maybe I should have Commander's Horned, because if he does resurrect something right now... Does he have another Priestess? He might have another Priestess. So if he resurrects something, then Sigurd Rifa becomes the same strength as the longship, and that's really bad in case of... really bad in case of Igni. Actually, if he weathers, that doesn't matter anyway, so maybe I'm worried about nothing. But this looks like a decent Commander's Horn, so let's do that. And see if he has the weather. Even if he has the weather, we have some pretty big longships here. Maybe I could have heralded first, actually. Would that have been correct? Getting just slightly more value with the Herald, or waiting... yeah. Alright, so Sigurd Rifa up to 27. In the case that he does not have weather, this was the correct play, I think. And Harald gets some additional value also. So let's see if he wants to kill something on our side of the board. Because if he kills something, then saving the Priestess here was worth it. I guess he doesn't really have a reason to. Maybe we should have just doubled the Priestess anyway, but it's not really doing anything right now. So I think the upside in case of him having Igni is big enough that saving the Priestess is going to be worth it. So we're losing 21 for Harald. We're losing a lot with weather, so that is something. There's the Igni, all right. So he was doing well in saving that for last. Now Harald does 19. Ooh, that's a big one. All right. Wow. Yeah, you generally don't see that one coming. But in that case, that was basically weather. That was basically the same impact as weather. All right. Okay. So assuming our opponent plays Scoia'tael, which is a reasonable assumption, let's go with Gels again. I like this setup. I think Gels has an advantage in the Scoia'tael matchup. Not a big one, but he has an advantage. And as I have undoubtedly mentioned before, I think that edge is more important.
Naivety is a fool's blessing.
Is more significant than any edge I could possibly get in the Scoia'tael mirror. And playing Northern Realms is terrible. So, yeah. Can throw away the fog here, which I like. Don't have any foglets yet, so I may wish to only mulligan 2 cards if I don't draw a foglet here. How good are ancient foglets in this matchup? Marchabraki's pretty good. Not throwing away Gaunter either. Not throwing away Commander's Horn, I think. Although it's not exceptional, it's definitely not. I'm keeping this hand. I don't want to draw into any foglets. drawing into one is going to cost me more than than I'm willing to give up here. Starting out with Woodland Spirit is the most likely scenario. All right, let's see what we're up against. Up against traps. Ooh, trap turn 1, that's a curious one. But I am pretty safe to just Gills on the front row now. There could be a lot of surprises, so I'm not sure what to expect at all.
Ho ho, I sense.
This could be a curious one. Could also... I can safely pass here, right? I don't have to commit anything. And then we'll get to see what that card is. It could be a Siron. Could very well be a Siron, and in that case we kinda played into it a little bit, but he didn't get to thin his deck. I don't think he can win in 2 cards, so this is a pretty strong pass, I think. Could very well be a Siron, since we started with... It is not a Siron? I'm not really sure in which order this procs, but I'm pretty happy with seeing Nida go there. So that was a strong first round, I like it. Kept a Wolf also, so that's definitely a good position to be in right now. And I didn't draw any Wild Hunt Rider, so not punished at all for that play. They're coming out at some point during this turn, and I can't use King of Daggers until I've used these, so I would like to have that option. Ooh, now this looks like a round I am not too unhappy to give up. But if I do want to have the opportunity to snipe a few mercenaries, so I will keep playing for at least a little bit. It sounds like the perfect scenario to play Avalach in. I'm not really sure how to pronounce his name. Double Lacerate also makes me want to play this round, and force out some resources on his side. Also, getting a good decoy target would be nice. If he played Javen at some point during this round, I wouldn't be terribly upset about that.
Everything all right?
Alright, first mercenary into... Okay, that's not what he wanted to see, I think. So that's a good opportunity to snipe that mercenary with a Spore. I could have also lacerated that row, actually. It was a 12-point lacerate, but yeah, I think I should have. Could still happen again. And if he mercenaries into another mercenary, then I can merc to bracket them both. So this is a pretty strong position here. Even in the second round, I can definitely make him burn some resources. It's not too hard to grab the lead from here. So trying again with the rally. Rally into a new mercenary. Mercenary goes into...
Have strength, my love.
The siege row. That was really risky, placing it in the frost in the frost row. Indeed, the frost row. And there is a real risk of me stealing Roach at some point during this round. I would definitely try for that, but first things first. Let's stick to the priorities. That's all 3 mercenaries down, so no more thinning for our opponents. That means he's stuck with the cards in his deck right now. But he's done enough thinning, actually. Wow. I'm actually... I guess Avalach did help thin 1 extra card. There are 2 first lights gone. So I kind of want to pull the last one during this round, which could be possible if I use Frost here. Decoy. That is a really quick decoy. Interesting. Alright, I would kind of like to use King of Beggars at some point here. But there's nothing in the graveyard for him that I really need to remove right now. So I can wait a little longer with that. What can I pull with a mercenary if I caretaker it? Interesting question. I want to make a play for at least killing Roach at some point, but if he decoys, then let me also do the decoy. LemurCatta is going to be one of the best targets. Does make Yavin an available play for him, but I can't be too upset about that. Having LemurCatta back in a round that I don't mind losing is a really good position. I'll probably be playing Caranthier at some point during this turn, and then trying to make a play on the Roach. That's another reason to play Avalach first, right? It didn't really occur to me yet, but that is something to consider, because Avalach does pull the Roach for your opponent. Okay, Francesca used. I think I'll go for the Caranthier now. Yeah, I want to use King of Beggars at some point, but I need to have a good target in his graveyard first. And there's nothing worth removing right now. Because it's highly likely that I'll pull a Griffin with that. So I will happily LemurCatta at some point here, which forces him to play another gold card, pulling Roach back out. It's actually not brilliant, but I do get an opportunity and I should force him into it. If I play Gaunter here, that Lacerate is going to be disgusting. He's not using it to clear skies. Interesting. That reeks of Trapper. How bad is a Trapper here? Trapper's pretty rough, but not much we can do about that. Clears pretty much our entire row and gives us only 1 power. But again, that's not much we can do about. I think I'll go and play LemurCatta again, just because there's not a lot of good targets for her in the third round. And this allows me to clean up for a possible healer, I think. I could pull a Fog at some point, so let's not hurt the one in the ranged row. This might just be a mistake, by the way, because I do allow him to... Oh, Igni is curious. But he wants to play an additional gold card to pull Roach back out. But that does mean that Igni is not available for the last round, which is still fine. What are we looking at in his graveyard right now? I could actually Ida. That would be hilarious. If I pull a Griffin, what do I want to pull out of his graveyard? I don't know. Do I even want to Lacerate at this point? I don't. And I don't want to overcommit right now. Perhaps I just keep the King of Beggars for next round. I can't possibly draw all of my targets. So that's fine. I don't have a lead, which sucks, but we're equal on cards too. Don't like that. I will use one of my Lacerates. Against Scoia'tael, they usually have a lot of golds in the third round, which can be hard to use if you have 2 in your hand. I have been stuck in the final round with just 2 Lacerates in my hand, and that really, really sucks. So, uses the Mutagen. I'm actually tempted to resurrect Ida just for the heck of it, but that is probably something better saved for next round. He wants the Yavin at some point. Commander's Horn is really weak. I guess I shouldn't give him an easy Yavin target, right? The Trapper's going to hurt me regardless, so I shouldn't overinvest in this round. I think we're done here. We've made him invest enough, I think. He's got Isengrim, he's got Igni. What are his last golds? Perhaps he doesn't run Siri Dash. because it has to be. There has to be an ethne in that. No, not ethne. Uglies. There has to be an Uglies in the deck, and I'm kind of afraid of Shiru, to be honest. Keeping a wolf, not too exciting, but the Trapper, as expected, made it hard to expand into that row. He's one card up on us, because he's going first, as usual for this Gwentlemen match. So this looks like a great opportunity to take Roach, I think. We can't rely on getting... We could actually rely on getting a Griffin, so this might be a mistake, but I already played the Caretaker, so there's not much we can do about that right now. So the correct play there would just be to King of Daggers, but we don't have a gold card. Oh, then we would have gained Roach when we played the Caretaker, yes. Yes, that would have been the correct play. Oh, but then we don't have a Griffin to take the Aromancy if it comes out. That is something, but I guess we can't really beat Aromancy regardless. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, we can't beat Aromancy regardless. So that's not really a problem. If he Aromancies, it's gonna be on the siege row. So not too much we can do about that. In that case, is there anything we want to Griffin? I don't really know. We might have just screwed ourselves by playing Roach into the siege row, because that's the row we're most likely going to get weathered regardless. Is there anything in his graveyard that I don't want removed? Don't want played again. There's just Mardrums and First Light. So no, not really. I guess we do have a row to Commander's Horn in. We have the ranged row, which is conveniently immune to weather also. So that's nice. We can't save it for last card, so I imagine he's saving Aromancy for his last card.
Your tricks will not save you, Dwan.
Which means that we should probably Commander's Horn on the ranged row regardless. Alright, that's fine. Let's get those Ancient Foglets out then. Another one? Alright. So this could be Teruvial. We don't have a Frost, which kinda sucks, and we'll have to take the risk of that being Shiru. This looks like this looks like a kind of deck that might run a Shiru, but it might also be a Teruvial. That's really unpredictable. But there's no way to play around Shiru, I think. This is really awkward. I guess in case of doubt, we probably shouldn't lacerate this row. As long as Teruvial doesn't look like it's winning the game for him, then that's probably okay.
I was hoping you'd say that.
So now comes the question: what does he gain from Teruvial over there? Teruvial by herself is 6, and then another 8, so that's 14. That is pretty significant. So assuming he has Aromancy, then I think Teruvial wins in the game. Let's go Griffin now, to have some options on what to Commander's Horn. Anything we care about at all? No, we don't. It doesn't matter. There's no important special cards in this graveyard. That we really need to remove. And he can always wait until we're done to play Aromancy, as I said before. There's the Rain, alright. Bronze Rain, that's really, really interesting. So he could still have Aromancy, I guess. Oh, if something is changed to Shiru... Oh my gosh, if that's Shiru, then... Well, if that's Shiru, then I've already lost, right? Then I can't play any of my last cards. Okay, it's not. That's good. That's good to know. I was scared to death. He's already used Igni, so the Commander's Horn on the ranged row is pretty safe. And even against Fog, that's not terrible. Yeah, that was gonna happen regardless. So I think this is our only route to victory. So that's the one we'll take. And let's see if it's enough. Teruviel gives him 12. Searon in that case... Well, he can trigger his own shield if he wanted to. It is not. Then it's Searon. Then it has to be Searon. In which case this card better be bloody amazing or we win. Alright.
I was hoping you'd say that.
So that will be Searon then, and that means we won! Hooray! Whew.
Humans are not to be trusted.